All right, folks, before we get started today, remember we're trying to get to 500 subscribers. If we do, I will open a very rare, very expensive Owen Hart as the Blue Blazer figure. Also, like these videos, share them, leave comments. That helps me beat the algorithms because sometimes videos get hidden because I don't have very many followers or because some of the content YouTube don't like. So please help me get everything out there. Okay, folks? Now on to today's show. Welcome to Action Figure Wrestling Blue Empire. I'm Jim Ross, and with me as always is my broadcast partner and friend, Tony Schiavone. How y'all doing? Yeah, tonight is a very special night because this will be the last Blue Empire before the next pay-per-view. And we have all the referees at ringside. Don't forget our regular audience members are here, all of our regular ones. Today, the referee will explain why all the referees are at ringside in just a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only match for tonight is an over to the top rope battle royal for a contract and a spot on Blue Empire's roster. Each opponent will come down to the ring in the order of which they have drawn their numbers. And it will continue until there's only one person left in the ring. That one person left will either individually or, as far as their group goes, get a contract and will become part of the Action Figure Wrestling Blue Empire roster. And of course, coming down to the ring to stand next to the announce table, Action Figure Wrestling Blue Empire General Manager Gabriel Rodriguez. And now, the person who drew number one, the ringmaster, Steve Austin. And the person who drew number two, representing the Samoan Mafia, High Chief Pia Maivia, the leader of the Samoan Mafia, drew number two. He and the ringmaster Steve Austin are going at it. The only way to win the match or to put your opponent over the top rope, the person who drew number three, the Warlord. Here's a blast from the past, the Warlord. Here he is. Is he going to fight with that staff in his hand? It looks like it. Looks like he's using a weapon. He used it on Steve Austin. Oh my. Ooh, Steve Austin just took out Hunter Riddle. Referee Hunter Riddle kicked him in the face. The person who drew number four, Diamond Dallas Page. DDP's up here now. DDP's feet are not touching the floor. Let's see here. We're going to have to unscrew this real quick. Ooh, oh my goodness. Everything still works. We are hoping. Everything is still working. We dropped their phone here. We dropped our camera. That's all right. As you can see, DDP's feet have not touched the floor, but Austin's has. So Austin has been eliminated. That's right, folks. Austin has been eliminated. And Austin was one of those who was an individual trying to get a contract here. Next person who drew the next number, Thrash. Thrash, he just bounced off of DDP. The Warlord and High Chief PMIVA both have been eliminated. Now, if High Chief PMIVA, he was fighting for the Samoan Mafia. And next, the next opponent, LA Knight, yeah. LA Knight and Thrash have both been eliminated. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a tough thing to be watching here. The next opponent, coming down to the ring, Bret the Hitman Hart. Oh my folks, Bret the Hitman Hart. And again, Diamond Dallas Page feet did not hit the floor, but Bret Hart's did. And Bret Hart has been eliminated. The next opponent, coming down to the ring, the billionaire, Bruce Wayne. Billionaire Bruce Wayne. And he's fighting in a suit. Bruce Wayne is trying to win for him, Robin, and Batman. Diamond Dallas Page has been eliminated. The next opponent, Switchblade Jay White. Switchblade Jay White, he's coming down here now. What's he doing? Ooh, Jay White has been eliminated. The next opponent, representing the Samoan Mafia, Rocky Johnson. Rocky Johnson, The Rock's father. And he just put billionaire Bruce Wayne over the top rope. Too bad we won't see him back tonight because Bruce Wayne's a good fighter. A lot of people don't realize that. Yeah, well, who knows? He might be back someday. The next opponent, representing the Elite, Kenny Omega. And the next opponent, also representing the Samoan Mafia, Make a Difference, Fatu. You know he and Rocky Johnson aren't going to go after each other. They're part of the same alliance. That's why Kenny Omega is trying to take them both out. Make a Difference, Fatu. He just missed his chance. And of course, Rocky Johnson and Kenny Omega are both out. Kenny Omega and Rocky Johnson are both out. And of course, they are both representing a faction here. Factions here, so yeah. And the next opponent, Batman. Look at there. Batman. And Batman has been eliminated. Of course, Batman has been through a lot. He's all damaged up. The next opponent, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Woo! Ric Flair wants to take care of some business here. He has an issue with the Samoan Mafia, but Make a Difference, Fatu just put the Nature Boy over the top rope before he could even get his robe off. Oh, the next opponent, Batman. Batman's back. He drew another number. Batman drew a number for each uniform or outfit that he's wearing. The next opponent, the Boy Wonder, Robin. Robin's out here now. The Boy Wonder, Robin. He's trying his best not to falter here. Make a Difference, Fatu is outnumbered right now. And now representing the Justice League, Hawk Girl. Hawk Girl's out here now, and we knew that it would be a matter of time before somebody from the Justice League will be taken on people in this matchup. Ooh, Batman has been eliminated. He got eliminated kind of harder than what he should have, but he was eliminated nevertheless. And now, representing the Power Rangers, the only member of the Power Rangers team not on an action figure wrestling roster as of right now, the Pink Ranger. She just flat out crushed Robin. Ooh. Neither one of them went over the top rope. They both went through the ropes. So therefore, they're both safe. The next opponent, The Undertaker. The Undertaker has been eliminated. Robin has been eliminated. It's not looking good for Team Batman. No, it isn't. The next opponent, representing the Justice League, Superman. Now the Justice League has the odds-on numbers right now. Superman went through the ropes. He didn't go over them. He went through them. Make a Difference Fatu has been eliminated. And Hawk Girl, her foot got caught up in the rope. That's the only thing that saved her. Can you imagine with all the men in this matchup if a female ends up winning this? Either for her faction or as an individual? That would be wild. The next opponent, G.I. Bro. Can you dig it, sucker? Booker T as G.I. Bro. He just crushed Superman. The Man of Steel. The next opponent, representing the Justice League, Mr. Terrific. It's only one more person of the Justice League left. Hawk Girl has been eliminated. And now, representing the NWO, Big Bubba Rogers. Mr. Terrific's foot got caught up in the rope there, saving him, but Bubba Rogers has been eliminated. You know, Jim, you've been in this business for a long time. You know how tough this is. Yes, I do. Major Chip. Major Chip from the Small Soldiers movie. Of course, he wants to get rid of G.I. Bro. The Pink Power Ranger has been eliminated. Mr. Fantastic has been, Mr. Terrific has been eliminated. Major Chip Masters, I think is what his name is. He's going to be a tough one to put over the top rope. Yes, he is. The next opponent, representing the Samoan Mafia, The Rock. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? The Rock says, know your role and shut your mouth. The Rock. Did you see him hip toss Superman like he was nothing? Major Chip Masters and The Rock has been eliminated. Superman and G.I. Bro have been eliminated. Uh-oh. The reason why we're saying uh-oh, folks, is that means the next person will have a minute or two to themselves before coming down to the ring. The next opponent, Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock, folks. This is it right here, folks. This is the man, the myth, the legend, Ken Shamrock. And his opponent, representing the NWO, Lex Luger. Luger going after Ken Shamrock. And the next opponent, the Engineer. The Engineer. This lady, she tried to destroy Superman. Ken Shamrock's belt just came off. The next opponent, representing the Justice League and the last member of the Justice League, Green Lantern Guy Gardner. And the next opponent, representing the Elite, Adam Cole, baby. That's right, folks. Adam Cole, baby. Ken Shamrock went through the ropes, so therefore he's still safe. The next opponent, also representing the Elite, Nick Jackson. The Engineer and Guy Gardner have both been eliminated. Nick Jackson has been eliminated. Adam Cole has been eliminated. Luger just went on a tear of one elimination after another, after another, after another. Holy cow. And folks, the Justice League will not be getting the contract because all 4 members of that team have been eliminated. There's still a chance for the Samoan Mafia, the NWO, Batman and Robin, and the Elite. The next opponent, representing the Samoan Mafia, Alpha. Alpha and Lex Luger have been eliminated. Ken Shamrock's left in the ring by himself right now. Well, folks, that means the NWO, they are no longer eligible for the deal here because both of their members have been eliminated. The next opponent, coming down the aisle, representing Team Batman, the last member of Team Batman, Batman. Look at that, Batman. This is his 3rd appearance. This time he's wearing a orange outfit. Looks a whole lot like the same color orange of the outfit that Bruce Wayne was wearing. And Batman has been eliminated, meaning Team Batman will not win the contract. And we still got 2 more female opponents left to make their entrances tonight. The next opponent, coming down the aisle, Bryan Danielson. Now, Bryan Danielson, he has no bones to pick with Ken Shamrock, but he does have issues with the Elite. Bryan Danielson and Ken Shamrock have been eliminated. Uh-oh, folks. we're now down to the last 4 opponents. The next opponent, representing the Samoan Mafia, Sinca. It's do or die for Sinca. If Sinca wins here, all those members of the Samoan Mafia we've seen tonight will make their debut. Will not make a debut, but will get a deal and will be on the Blue Empire roster. The next opponent, Red Velvet. Red Velvet has been eliminated. Naturally, he's going to put her over top rope. Look how big he is. The next opponent, Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus and Sinca have been eliminated. Therefore, by the next person that comes out of the ring, whatever group they represent will be the ones added to Action Figure Wrestling Blue Empire. Who got the last number for this Battle Royal? Who could it be, folks? Who could be the final entrance? The final entrance in this Battle Royal, representing the Elite, Matt Jackson. Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks wins by default. And your winner, and now members of Blue Empire roster, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Adam Cole, baby, and Kenny Omega, the Elite. Until next time, folks, I'm Jim Ross, and as always, my partner, Tony Schiavone.